Okay guys, welcome. We're gonna be making the coffee table, I guess, today. What we want to do, we want to start off with, let's see, we'll start off with a circle to begin with. And then we're gonna scale outwards, S to scale. Obviously everything's at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is going to be a little bit of a complicated one, but it's fine. I'll guide you through it. So, the first thing that we want to do, we notice that all of the edges are selected right here. So we're going to E for extrude, don't move it, click, and then we're going to go scale inwards slightly so we've kind of got this ring going on. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go on to select mode. You want to select your faces up at the top. You know, I'm going to move my little logo thing out of the way because that is super distracting. I didn't even realise, like, it was covering stuff. You know what? I'm going to move it to the bottom. Okay, so, select two faces on this side. Make sure that they're on the sides and not diagonally or something. And then we're going to select two more faces on the outside. So you should have 4 in total. And then we're going to click delete. Delete the faces. If you don't have that, if you don't have like a number pad and stuff like that, and it's just a short keyboard, you can right click, I do believe it is. Let me see. Yeah, I think you can backspace it. I'm pretty sure you can backspace it. No. Delete and then faces. Unfortunately, I've got a longer keyboard. I don't really know what the shortcut for that one is. Google's great for that, but if you've got a delete button on your keyboard, then that's different. I've got the number pad ones. So, delete should be at the top if you're on a laptop. Right, so we've got the basic ring that we're going to do at the bottom. I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, so to make this ring, you want to go E for extrude. Just scale out just slightly. E for extrude. We're just going to make it round and then have like a little curve on the inside. So E for extrude. And then E for extrude, and we're just going to bring it back in again. So scale inwards. You can mess around with this afterwards if you'd like to. So that's going to be our basic ring, basic shape at the bottom. I'm just going to go to object mode right here. We're going to right click, shade smooth. Now what you want to do, you want to do the texture first before you start duplicating things. So we're going to go with texture, which will be material. Click new. When she loads, there we go. Right, so this material, you can name it if you want to. I don't sometimes, because I kind of just like working fast, but we're just going to name this as gold, gold surface, gold pattern, gold. I'll just put gold CO for the moment. So you've got all these options down here as well that you can do. If you'd like it translucent, you can do. If you want it as an emission, I don't know why you'd want the bottom of a coffee table as an emission, but you can do. For me, on this project, I'm going to be doing a gold. So I'm just going to go with the orange, turn the metal all the way up, roughness down. If you haven't already, these tutorials are in cycles, so if you just go to the render tab, you just click off cycles right there. When you render, you can see that we've kind of got this gold effect going on. Now, the lighting isn't great in here, so I'm just going to change the lighting to a sun. Just turn that up a little bit. Okay, so this isn't quite gold. We want this a little bit brighter. I'd say roughly about that much. So we're just making a basic table. I mean, like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. So we're going to duplicate this. So Shift D. Oh, my computer's running a little bit slow today. And just bring it up for roughly coffee table size. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add another circle. Now this is going to be our glass. So what you want to do, if you've got a number pad, you can press to get different views and stuff like that. So for me, I've just pressed 7, that's straight on top. So what you want to do is scale the circle all the way out until it just matches up with your table. Now I would go right towards the edge with this. Oops. Just press shift to move around. Just go as close to the edge as you possibly can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to edit mode. You've got all of your sides selected. Press E for extrude. Scale inwards slightly. Oops. I don't think my E worked. E for extrude. Click it down. Oh, come on. For some reason my extrude isn't working. What did I do wrong? Okay, now I'm going to take it off that because I think it's taking up way too much RAM. Also, you're going to want to bring this up into the middle. Just slightly. And I say just slightly because we're going to fill that in later on. So just go to your edit mode again. I think because I was on the rendered mode, my computer's not playing ball currently. It does not want to play ball. Why are you not playing ball? Right, here we go. So press A to select everything. E for extrude. But don't move it. And then scale inwards. There we go. This is what she should be doing. She wasn't doing before. I think I ran out of RAM. Okay, so we now have this kind of ring going around. So this is where the stuff gets a little bit complicated, but I'll talk you through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this outer ring, just G, and move it downwards just slightly so that we can see what we're doing. So what we're going to do with this is go back to edit mode, A to select everything, E for extrude, and you just want a little lip on this. So that's where your little lip is. What I'm going to do is just bring it up just a little bit further. And then what you want to do is Control R. And you'll notice that these little features come up here. So scroll your scroll wheel once. And then you should have a band all the way around once you click. Just scale that just slightly. So it's outwards. Come on. So that you got a little bit of a bevel going on around the edge. My computer's been a bit slow today. Here we go. Right, so this is what it should look like. So you've kind of got that little bit of a curve going around the edge. And you've got like a little bit in the middle. Now, here's how you make your glass. And this is going to be on the inside. So let's go again. Control R. Go to the middle. Now you can make a secondary scroll if you want. You can have just like one line going around. It's up to you. I'm going to make a secondary one. So Control R. I'm going to do it like that. Right, so now you can press F to fill, which is going to mess up some of your vertices if you do decide to go with 2 lines. Or press Control R again. Or not. Right. And then we press F for fill. And it's all smooth. So it depends what you want to do with it. I'm going to just go with the 1, I think, at the moment. So now, this whole shape, as a whole, just has one material on it. It's just one texture. We want to divide that into 2 separate ones. So, here's what we do. We're going to go back to the object mode, just for the moment. I'm just going to right click and just click smooth. Now you can subdivide this if you want to before you click smooth. So this is what it looks like just before I subdivided. If I was going to subdivide, I'd press A to select all. Subdivide, it's subdivide. makes it a little bit smoother. You can do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can also go to the add modifier and you can go with smooth. And this will just make it... It does kind of make it smooth, but it doesn't at the same time. So, I mean, like, if you want to use that modifier, you can do. I mean, that's what it looks like when you do use the modifier. Right, so you want to make this two separate things. So what I'm going to do is just bring the string back up. That was me, my foot. If you heard a weird noise, it was my foot. It's not gonna make it now, is it? No, it's not gonna make it. It sounded a little bit off. Trust me, it was my foot on the chair. Right, so anyway, gonna go G, bring this up to the top just there. Now you notice that you clip in a few vertices here. So what you want to do, press S to scale, just scale it in just slightly. So it's flush, but it's just sitting there. So I mean, you could, in theory, if you wanted to, you could make this a little bit taller if you wanted to, make it a bit shorter. It's totally up to you. It's your design. And just stick that there. Right, so now we've got the basic premise of a table. Now we want to make the legs. I'll teach you how to do the glass in a moment. I want to make the legs. So I'm going to be using cubes. Scale this upwards. You can use whatever you like. I mean, you could do some fancy design if you wanted to. With circles. That actually sounds really nice. A little bit of fancy design with circles. What you're going to want to do is just get it right up to here. Scale inwards. S to scale with stuff. So 1 second. Yeah. So just try and make it as central as you possibly can. G for up. So it just sits inside there. Now, this side you notice poking out the top. So if you go to edit mode and you select faces, you can actually click the face right there and just press G and just bring it down. That's all you need to do. So now we have this kind of sideways table a little bit. So now what we want to do, I mean, you could do a twist on this. I mean, it'd look nice with a twist. I've not used twist in a while, so let me see. I think it's called twist. Screw. Yeah, screw. Okay, so this is it's a little modifier that you can use. You can actually put kind of a screw effect on things. That's if you want to use that. Sometimes, obviously, you need to take it back up again. Let me see. Better just put this back at 0. Can I do that? I'm just kind of going through some stuff that you guys could use right now. Let's put that back at 16. Angle. Yeah. So you can get like a little screw effect going on with that. That's totally up to you if you want to use that. Let's see. Just delete that. You've got a lot of different modifiers here. You've got deform ones, you've got curve, cast, smooth, wrap, you've got wave, you've got shrink wrap. A lot of different things. I mean, I'd encourage you absolutely to try different techniques out, because you know, you never know what you might stumble upon that might assist you later on in your endeavours with your projects. But today I'll leave it as a square. You guys can experiment and stuff like that, but I'll just show you the basic premise. So you've got your oblongy kind of thing going on. Right, so materials. Go down to your materials tab, click new. So you're going to get a new material right here. If you want the gold, the original material that's made for the base here, you just go to this drop down and you'll be able to find it pretty much straight away. So this is what we currently have. And what we want to do, it looks a bit tacky to me. To be honest with you, I could add some surface modifications to that, add some scratches and stuff. So take this, Shift D to duplicate, and just bring it over the other side and make it as flush as you possibly can to those two sides. I mean, you could use a grid reference if you really wanted to. So you notice that this first one is just before this line. So then this first one should just be before this line. If you've kept everything flush to its original spawn point, you should be able to see everything in the mirror kind of effect. Right, so click this one, and then we're going to press Shift, and we're going to click our first one. Shift D to duplicate, leave it where it is. So now you've got two table legs that are over two table legs. What we want to do now is we want to rotate them. So if you press R for rotate, go straight up on the Z axis. Now if you press 90 on your keypad, so 90, it'll go like this. Now you'll notice one of the table legs is outside of the boundaries of where we'd like it to be. So we're going to delete that one. So just click to accept. Take this leg, press delete on your keyboard. And notice now that we have 3 legs. Now if you want to have more legs you can do, but I'm going to do like a little fancy design just on one of them. So Shift D, just bring that out slightly. And then, you know what, I could just like pull some stuff in here. This is just a little design that I've just decided to do. Regards to that, so I'm just going to go Shift D. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but if you do want to do this, you're just duplicating things and really experimenting. So it's S to scale, just to bring it out a little bit, and just duplicate another one, scale that one inwards. I'm just kind of making a little fancy pattern on the side. You know, and I don't like the way that this reflects. I don't like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a plane at the bottom so that you guys can see some of the reflection that it has. So you see that it's very reflective. It's almost like mirror-like, but it's not quite sharp. I'd like it to be sharp. So you notice now that we've got a little bit of roughness going on, so that's why it's not as sharp. So if I turn the roughness down, it's going to go straight into a mirror. Let me see. I do want to put something on there. I'd like actually to put some scratches on there, or some Veroni texture. So Veroni texture would look real nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back off the render tab right there. Let me see. I think I just made 3 vertices on there. Okay, so I'm just going to move this across so it's on that side. Now you'll notice that it's the wrong way around. So I'm just going to get it flush as I can. We're going to go R for rotate. Hit 180 on your number pad. And it should just turn straight around. And it should be just on the table. We do have a few gaps there. I'm just going to move those. I'm just going to mosey those on in. See what we got. It might be an issue for the other side as well. So you kind of got that fancy table look. Hold on, do we have? Yes, we do. So you notice that we've got gaps just in between there. Just gonna mosey that on in. Mosey it in. Oh. Right. So that would be our basic premise. Now, as far as the ring goes at the top, now this is totally up to you. I mean, you can have whatever colours that you'd like to. Just make sure that it doesn't clip the outside. So now we're going to make the little glass kind of window thing going on. So what you want to do, because this is going to be 2 different materials, go to your materials tab, and we're going to assign new, and we're going to call this one outer black. So this will be the kind of rubber seal that goes around the outside. So hold on. I thought that was my dog getting out. It's my partner coming home. So anyway, the rubber seal that's coming around the outside, we want to just change that to a black tone. Now you notice that the glass turns black as well, so we've not assigned it anything. So what we're going to do, we're going to go new material again. And this will say outer black 1. Now that's not what we want. So this new material, we're going to go glass. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, because I've started recording again, select your glass piece, and then we're going to go edit mode, and you just want to select the centerpiece right here. Make sure that you deselect anything that's around the outside, so you're just literally centerpiece only. Now at this point you want to press the plus in the corner, and we want to assign new material, and where it says principled BSDF, we want to go with glass. You're going to click assign, go to come back to the object mode, just click off that. Something very squeaky outside. And then we have glass effects. Now you notice that the glass itself is very foggy. So what we want to do is just turn down the roughness. And this is what we should have. You notice that there's a little bit of a warp there. That's just the side of the glass. Just accumulating right there. So I kind of want to add some patterns to this, and I kind of want to add some like texture and stuff. So what I'm going to go and do is go into the shading tab. I am going to change the colour of this plane underneath because it is pretty, it's very light. It's almost blinding me. Right, so also I'm going to move the sun out of the way as well. Okay, so when you go into the shading tab, it's just up here, if you can see that. Right here, if my mouse ever shows up, there we go. Right, shading tab's right there. Now at this moment, I don't have the key controls that I can show you, because for some reason it doesn't pop up on shading. So what we're going to do, click the center kind of wheel, if you will, the tabletop. What we're going to do, go into your materials, because you've got 2 materials here. It's only going to show 1 material at a time. So what you want is the glass, we've written glass inside of there, but that will be the glass hold. Excuse me. I'll just put the holder. Alrighty then. So apparently that's black. It's showing up as white, but okay. Let's see what we can do with this. So this is going to be the metal side of it, so I'm just going to turn up the metallic a little bit. Not too much, we don't want it mirrored, but we want just enough. So on the gold bit here, when we click this one, we want to do a Veroni texture. This is going to give us a couple of scratches. So I mean, it's up to you if you want to do the Veroni texture. Excuse me. So we go colour to base, and you notice that you've kind of got this weird patterning going on, and it's no longer gold. So we have to remake the gold in theory. So this is a Veroni texture, which makes little hexagons all over the place in random points. So we're going to pull this so that it's scaled upwards. So we've kind of got like that kind of rough cut metallic look, I guess. The next thing we're going to do is put in a colour ramp. Just stick that right in the middle there. We're going to add some reds. And then we will add some yellows. Just make that a bit brighter. We're going to put some more yellows over this side as well, but we're going to go with a bit of orange. So you've kind of got that that shading going on. Now, depending on what you want, you can put these in different positions just to see what works for you. That kind of works for me. So, we need a bump texture. I believe bump would go there. Yep. Okay, so now you can see we kind of got this kind of cracked effect. Now, you can scale this up, you can scale this down, you can do whatever you want with it. Make it rougher, make it less, whatever you want to do. It just gives the table a little bit of character, as if it's been knocked at some point. You know, totally play around with the settings, invert things, make things look a little weird. Okay, so the glass in the middle of the table looks a little bit normal. It just kind of looks too perfect, and I love trashing things in Blender. It's like one of the best things that you can do for Blender, because if you've got something that's so perfect, then people are just going to go, that looks fake. But if you've got something that's full of scratches, it's got bumps on it, it's irregular kind of thing, people are going to look at that and go, you know what, actually that's a bit more detailed. So we're going to go for material 2, which is the glass. Whatever material you have set up, click the one in accordance. So we're going to do some noise texture. Now you've got white noise and you've got regular noise. Either's good. It just depends what works for you and your project. So you see here I'm getting some noise on there. I could technically make this frosted glass and have that noise as a procedural, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to go bump. Let's put that in the middle. Height. You see we've got all that bumpy goodness. Okay, so now we need colour ramp. So add. Remember, spell colour the American way, because it is spelled the American way. You notice now that we have this going on. So we can reduce this a little bit by playing around with the I or R. It gives us kind of this very crusty look. You can scale this outwards and just have a little bit of a look to it. So make it frosted as well. So that's going to adjust how your glass responds to its environment. I'm just going to turn that up just once. Actually, no. I'm going to leave it the way that it is. You can also turn your bump node down, make it less bumpy, or you can make it more bumpy. Turn your roughness down or your roughness up. Your scale as well. You can change all of that. To be honest with you, I like the bumpy effects. That's quite nice. Where were we? Wasn't that? I think that was it. So yeah, that's kind of like a basic kind of coffee table, I guess. It's whatever you want to make it, really. But yeah, if you got this far in the tutorial, please consider subscribing and liking. If you're on Facebook, give me a follow. I'd really appreciate it. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one then, I guess.